All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, look, I know it's early in the morning here, but we have breaking NFL news, right? Phillip Rivers has just announced his retirement from the NFL, which now opens the door for the Colts to possibly make that quarterback acquisition this offseason. And it's going to be interesting to see what this team does. I mean, this is a win now team. They're coming off a double-digit win season. They have a great coaching staff in place. They have a great general manager and Chris Ballard. I love everything about the Colts, right? I really, really do. Will they roll out a Jacoby Brissett? Will they put Jacob Eason out there? A guy who I like, but I still think he needs at least a half year on the bench, right? Still kind of learning and just trying to, get adapted to this NFL game. Think about how many teams out there have a question mark at that position, right? This is off the top of my head. I'm not even going to include Jacksonville in the mix because of the whole Trevor Lawrence thing, but we have the Jets, we have Washington, we have Carolina. What's happening with Houston, Deshaun Watson? We have Drew Brees retiring, or, that story with New Orleans. What's happening there? What's happening in Pittsburgh with Big Ben? Are the Dolphins really sold on Tua? Is he going to be the guy moving forward? Detroit, a team that's going into a full rebuild mode. Are they going to stick with Stafford? Are they going to part ways with him? Who else? Drew Lock, new GM coming in the building for Denver. Are they going to roll with Lock? Chicago, definitely quarterback question marks. Are the Giants going to, do they feel 100% confident sticking with Daniel Jones for 2021? There's a lot of teams out there, man, that really, there's Philly, right? Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, what's happening there? There's so many teams out there that have their work cut out for them, right? They're going to have to figure out what the plan's going to be coming up for this next season. So could the New York Jets find a potential trade partner in the Colts, right, for Sam Darnold? I think that decision's, obviously up to Chris Ballard. Who does he value more for the long term of the franchise? Jacob Eason, right, a guy with a lot to like, huge arm, did a lot of really, really good things at Washington, or Sam Darnold. And if you do go with the Sam Darnold route, you're going to have to give up an asset. I think realistically, it doesn't make too much sense for Indianapolis at this point. I think, again, this is a win-now team, a double-digit win-now team with a great coaching staff in place. This team is built to go to the playoffs right now. Right now. I don't think taking Darnold, a guy who I personally feel like needs maybe a year on the bench, a year with the pressure off of his shoulders, I think Darnold's better, his best fit is with a team like Atlanta, right, where he can go sit behind Matt Ryan for a year, learn the Arthur Smith offense with a ton of weapons. He can go and play in a dome, and they can move off of Ryan in one season. I think that makes a lot of sense for him. I think Carolina also makes a lot of sense for Darnold. He could compete for the starting gig over there with Teddy Bridgewater. We'll see what happens. I think Washington would be a little crazy for Sam right now. I think, the pressure would be high. We made the playoffs. We have a great coaching staff. We have the defense that's ready to win now, but we don't have a lot to offer offensively outside of Antonio Gibson and, Terry McLaurin. I do like Cam Sims, though. But there could be moving parts on the offensive line. I think the two teams that really at this point in time make the most sense for Sam Darnold is two NFC South teams, the Panthers and the Falcons. I think with the Colts right now, I think their best bet is to go out and try to acquire a Matthew Stafford, a Carson Wentz. They have the money to pay these guys. I don't see a Deshaun Watson trade happening with Indy, being that they're in the same division. I don't see Houston dishing out a franchise quarterback that's 25 years old in division. I just don't see that happening. So I really think Matthew Stafford's a strong possibility. If not Stafford, maybe Carson Wentz. But I think at the end of the day, Darnold's best fit is with Carolina and Atlanta. I think those two teams make a lot of sense for Sam. And also, you're looking at where those two teams are picking in the draft. If they go out and they acquire a guy in Darnold, this is a young quarterback that you can just stash on the bench for a year. Now all the pressure's alleviated from, do we settle for a Mac Jones? Are we gonna, reach on a guy at pick 4 for Atlanta? Do we have to trade up for a Trey Lance? Like, all of those questions get completely relieved. Now you can just go BPA or, address a need. So I think at the end of the day, Indy does not make the move. It's going to be, they could though. There's a bunch of teams that again, have quarterback issues. Sam Darnold could, this is just essentially a game of musical chairs at this point. Who's going to end up where? So we'll see what happens. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.